everyone, it is Erika Taylor here today with my very first video. So bear with me as I toggle the camera around, make you guys really dizzy, but hopefully I can share a couple of my secrets and show you a project along the way. So let's get started. Alright, today I'm going to be working with a little bit of this beautiful line from Trinity Papers. It's called Sincerely, and it probably has the nicest combination of color palette that I've seen in quite some time. I'm a big fan of anything that has a little bit of distressing on it, so as you can see with this one here, they really do that marble distressing and some dots, things like that on it. This one here is the B-side of a paper called Bunches of Lilies. And here are their lilies themselves. I love calla lilies, and I love this combination of slightly more pinkish tone as well as that deep, almost like a Chardonnay burgundy color on the calla lilies. The really good thing about this particular line is that it has both feminine and masculine concepts to it, so it's a really great line to use when it comes to any type of wedding, anniversary, special occasion papers that you need both that balance of masculine and feminine line. Some beautiful stripes, as you can see. They've also made these really great border strips on their borders line, so you can use those, of course, on your projects. It gives it a really nice finish to anything that you're creating. And again, that nice dark color. Here are those beautiful calla lilies. I love how there's these small little filigrees that are in it as well. I'm a big fan of swirls, so when I first saw this particular one, the bouquet, fell in love with the line immediately. Again, a little bit more masculine, have with the argyle. This is on the line, perfect little birds that you can cut out, of course, for any fussy cutting projects that you're doing. And then I only have a little bit of it left, but we will be using this one as well. This one is called Damask. On the one side it has your white and black damask, and on the opposite side it has these really great size dots on it. So this is what I'm going to use today. Let's get started. We're going to make a card today, and I'm going to start with just a plain white piece of paper. We're going to do your regular A2 size, so if you hear some noise, it's just me cutting. And then we're going to do a little scoring, of course, and then get it done. So I'm going to quickly use my score pal to score off at 4 1/4. I love the score pal for the ease of making those beautiful crisp lines. Just because you make something handmade doesn't mean it needs to look handmade. Now we're going to use that damask line first. Just like so. We're going to grab our handy dandy distress tool, and I'm just going to distress the edges. I'm a real big fan of getting that vintage feel by really giving those edges a little bit of character. You can go one step further, of course, and add a little bit of ink if you'd like. The one ink that I find works perfectly for this particular Sincerely line from Trinity is the Aged Mahogany Ranger Distress ink. It's a really, really great match. Almost done here. If your paper, when you're distressing the edges, if it rips, tears, anything like that, don't worry about it. That's what we're wanting here. We're wanting that really interesting design to the side. So that is what we're going to end up with. Now, to give it a little bit of contrast, we're going to grab some of this really, really pretty argyle. again, we're just going to distress those edges. This is a wing it project today, so I don't have any particular plan that I'm going with, but a good friend of mine once told me that sometimes the best creations come without having a plan. So I'm going to give that a whirl and see how it works. So, I'm going to grab my trusty glue. And just on the one side of the argyle, we're just going to add a little bit of glue on. A little goes a long way. Just like so. Now again, I'm going to do just a small strip, about 1.5 inches. And it's going to be by 5 1/4. And we're just going to add this and layer it on top. I love layers. This is going to put our little birdie in. So again, we're going to do a little bit of distressing. I have to remember to keep my hands under the camera for you guys. Now Trinity is a new product line that has just come out this past CHA. The company itself, everybody that I've met so far, absolutely wonderful to work with. Their papers are really great quality. As I said before, the colors are fantastic, and I'm seeing big things with these guys. So again, we'll just add a little bit of glue onto the back. And we're going to add her on. Just like that. I'm figuring for this one here, we're going to work with a little bit of our own flowers. So I'm going to just put this aside for a second, and we're going to grab a little bit of the paper. I'm thinking this really pretty stripe is going to look great for flowers. And to give it a little bit of richness,